Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into the market stats for 2021 for Simcoe County and Cottage Country. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the factors that created this hot seller's market and what we can expect to see in 2022. Before we get into today's video, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ryan Megson. I'm a licensed real estate agent based in Orillia, servicing Simcoe County and Cottage Country here in Ontario. If you'd like to set up a one-on-one consultation with me, there's a link in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay, so we know that 2021 was an absolutely wild year for real estate here in Canada, but not just here, all over the world. And I think that that's really important to talk about. The market conditions that we're experiencing here in Canada are not unique to us, it is happening everywhere. In Simcoe County in 2021, we saw an average price increase of $162,942 from December 2020 till December 2021. That's an increase of 24% year over year and an increase on average of $14,000 every month. Now, when we look at the hottest cities in Simcoe County, Barrie saw an increase of $189,896, which is 28.5%, and Orillia with the largest increase of almost $200,000, an almost 40% increase from 2020. Other cities in Simcoe County like Midland, Penetanguishene, Collingwood, and Wasaga Beach all saw very similar increases. In Simcoe County, we also saw 1,645 sales in the $1 million plus range, an increase of over 1,000 home sales compared to 2020 where there was only 644. Now, when we look at the average sale price, it's also important that we look at the number of sales that happened. In 2021, we saw a 5.4% increase in the number of homes sold compared to that of 2020. Barrie was the driving force behind that statistic with an increase of 8.2% in the number of transactions year over year. Here in Orillia, we actually saw an 8.4% decrease in the number of units sold, which explains why we had the greatest increase in average sale price across the county. There simply wasn't enough homes for sale in 2021 to ease the increasing demand in the city. So let's take a look at what is contributing to these large increases in home prices that we're seeing. Firstly, and probably the most obvious, is the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has created a huge shift in the way that we operate day to day and has caused people to reevaluate their living conditions. Thanks to numerous work from home mandates, we saw a large number of people fleeing the city centers and moving into these smaller markets where they could cash out on a lot of equity and purchase homes with more space and a better lifestyle. With working from home becoming more popular, we saw a huge increase in the demand for home offices. Another contributing factor which we cannot ignore is the fact that we've had the lowest interest rates that we've ever seen. With the Bank of Canada rate sitting at 0.25% throughout 2021, buyers, investors, and homeowners have had access to capital and money was basically free. Now, when we look at immigration, we saw an astronomical 400,000 immigrants move to Canada in 2021. And this puts a huge strain on the real estate market as this increase in demand is near impossible for housing supply to keep up with. Restrictions on zoning and protected lands in and around the Greater Toronto area is also making it extremely difficult for new developments and is pushing a lot of people further and further out into Simcoe County and other regions surrounding the GTA. Before I get into my predictions for 2022, I wanted to touch on the cottage market, where we saw some of the largest price increases across the country. Since the beginning of the pandemic, there has been a huge increase in demand for recreational waterfront properties. People who would traditionally travel for vacation were unable to with the restrictions that were in place. The Muskoka, Haliburton, and Kawartha Lakes regions saw the average price of waterfront properties increase 50%, 66%, and 77% respectively since the beginning of the pandemic. That's an increase of 20 to 40% year over year, and the average price point ended the year in 2021 with $937,000 for Haliburton, $957,000 for Kawartha Lakes, and $1.65 million for Muskoka. We've been in a hot seller's market since before the pandemic, and this trend has only been amplified due to the effects of COVID-19. People have been speculating a potential crash in the market for years, though when we really look at the market stats, we are not seeing any indication of a housing bubble or it bursting. Home price increases are being caused by an extreme inventory shortage, which seems to be getting worse every year. Basic supply and demand dictates that when demand exceeds supply, prices are set to rise. We are seeing that through and through with our government consistently increasing the demand with things like immigration and pairing with low interest rates and building restrictions. It's an absolute beast which will be extremely difficult to battle in the near future. With all of this in mind, I believe that prices are going to continue to increase across the board, and economists are predicting a 10% increase across Canada in 2022. Now, there will obviously be markets which will increase more than that, and I believe Simcoe County will be one of those. The proximity to the Greater Toronto Area, as well as the desirable market centers that show us Simcoe County is a popular destination for those that are leaving the city. When we look at interest rates, the Bank of Canada has indicated that there will be several rate hikes during the year and into 2023, and the big 6 banks are predicting as many as 5 quarter-point rate hikes by the end of this year. This would take the Bank of Canada rate from 0.25% that it is now up to 1.5%. Though that may sound scary, I don't believe that that's going to be enough of an increase to cause the housing market to cool, because we're basically reverting to pre-COVID interest rates, which were already historically low. I do, however, think that we're going to see a huge buying frenzy early in the year, with buyers looking to lock in these low interest rates. Now, when we look at the state of the cottage market, property prices have already risen astronomically. It'll be interesting to see whether these interest rate increases, as well as travel restrictions easing, whether or not this market is going to continue to be so competitive. So there you have it, guys, 2021 in a nutshell, as well as what we'll likely expect to see in 2022 and beyond. If you got value from this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you would like to set up a one-on-one consultation with me where we can discuss your buying or selling needs, please feel free. The link is in the description below where you can book online. If you have any questions about what was discussed in this video, or if there's other content you'd like to see me put out, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.